Hi, I'm Jose Carlos Gallardo Teves, and I want to talk about my solution to the problem to the data engineer bootcamp. So, first of all, let's look at this sample. The problem for me was that the data was really big. So, this is a small sample. The data was about 20 gigabytes of memory. So Pandas and my computer couldn't handle all of that memory. So first of all, I realized that in the three questions I need to answer, I didn't need all the columns. So my first approach was, of course, defining the path where the data is invalid, define a chunk size, of course, to create an iterative chunk so I can solve the problem, and then just choose the columns I needed to solve the problems, the questions, of course. So let's go to this. This is the iterations I create here for every chunk size. My chunk size is for 10 million. My computer handled that really well. So, okay. The first question was how many commercial chains are monitored and therefore included in this database? So to answer these questions, first of all, I realized, as I told you before, I didn't need all the columns. I didn't even need the three columns I just talked about before. I just need one column, cadena comercial or commercial chain, and I needed to just find the unique values on that column. So for all the chunks, I create a concatenation, concat of all of that column of every chunk, and then I just use the operation to drop duplicates. So then at the end of all of that, I just calculate the length of the data set, the data frame, sorry, and that was my answer, was 706 commercial chains in the database. So then for the second questions, what are the top 10 monitored products by state? Here I needed now two columns, that was product and state. And then I needed to create a count for every repeated value of product and state in the same row. So I did that. I, of course, did that for every chunk. And for every chunk, I create a concat again to, to start saving the values in a data frame that have the answer. Then at the end, I have a data frame with all the counts of states and products. Then I needed to sort the values by the counts in a descending way and group by state. Then I, of course, apply a head just to get the 10 first values for each state. So that was the answer. The answer is in the CSV here in the same folder. And then for the third question, which is the commercial chain with the highest number of monitored products? Here the solution was really like the question two. I create the chunks just by two columns, products and commercial chain. I create a count to see which commercial chains have the more products, and then I I create a count and calculates the top one. So the top one was Tortillerías Tradicionales, the commercial chain Tortillerías Tradicionales. Then for the four questions, the fact that I want to show to make it a little interesting was first to find the top 10 monitor commercial chains, and then by the number of products that these top 10 monitor commercial chains have, calculate the percentage of products that these commercial chains have to respect to all the databases. So first for this question, I already knew that we have 706 commercial chains. So the answer was a little bit surprising. First, I calculate the number of lines in the CSV, so that was the total of products. And then I create a data frame with estado, with the state, sorry, and commercial chain, and create accounts of these. Have the commercial chain that have more repetitions, that means more products, and then create a top 10 of those commercial chains in the database. And by those commercial chains that have the more counts, um, sum the values of those counts and then divide it by the number of lines, of course, multiply it by 100 to calculate the percentage. And then the answer was 75.38%. 10 of the 706 commercial chains have more than 50% of the products. So that, I think that was an interesting value to get. So that was it. That was my solution, and this is my program. I hope you like it, and thank you very much for seeing this video.